Before you fall in love, if that feeling even exists, make sure you check the woman right away. Got no trust in these women. Nothing personal though, just standards. Men are growing weary of modern women because the ROI of putting your best foot forward is almost zero. Doing all things right, including actions like going to the gym and getting rich, is amazing, but allowing any woman to benefit from that work is a huge L. These days, men are really focusing on themselves because falling into the trap of chasing women and not excellence can yield tons of negative consequences. Getting stronger, richer, and all that good stuff just so random chicks call you toxic feels very bad, and those women who do appreciate all that work are simply called brainwashed for getting a man like you. Check this out.
Women sabotage each other so they don't get high value men. So like when I got into a really healthy relationship, that's more on the traditional side.
Yeah.
All the women hated me and stopped being friends with me. They're like, this is terrible for you. Like, and I was like, what do you mean? They're like, you've lost a lot of weight. Like, I don't know if that's good for you. Like, maybe you should try to gain the weight back. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, who are you guys? Like, promoting this.
So, losing weight and looking better for your man is bad. Look, it's not about eating disorders, but just looking good for a man. Simple logic, if you ask me. But hey, once all things are cool, it's normal to see vultures around you trying to bring you down. More on that in a second. In today's video, we're delving into modern women's definition of toxicity and why this is literally the main reason why society is on a decline. Stick around because I'm sure you're going to love this one. But before we go any further, let me share the comment of the day. Shout out to the OG Just Hey, he said, women at 20, don't talk to me. Women at 30, men don't approach us anymore. Women at 40, hey, I'm talking to you. Women at 50, here kitty kitty. That's pretty good. The last one goes full circle as the women finally accept their sad fate. Please don't forget to reach out to us by email to claim your $5 for that comment of the day. As usual, guys, I'll pick one comment from each video. It may be the funniest, the most liked, or one that touched me, so don't forget to leave a comment and you may be our next winner. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons too, as it helps a lot. And now, back to the video. Embrace your masculinity. Toxic masculinity is probably one of the stupidest terms in this generation. Having standards for yourself is considered evil if you're a man. To say the least, this is nonsense. While male standards, male thinking, and male anything are vilified day in and day out, female standards are celebrated. Like, really? This is mind-boggling, especially when you consider the average standards of modern women. More often than not, they don't want a man who's fat, broke, and has a boring life. Women don't really know what they want. In fact, many women don't get what they want because they don't know what they want. Let that sink in. So, this goes something like, woman, make up your mind. Do you want a masculine man by your side? Cool. Now accept that this man won't allow you to hit the club and twerk around a bunch of drunk men. Also, accept that you'll not be allowed to have an open IG account or social media for that matter. You better stay modest. And the list goes on. Oh, you don't want to be oppressed? So, just two options. Either get a simp or never be taken seriously.
Why is it controlling? How about a guy just has some standards for himself and he's saying to himself, if I'm going to date you and we're going to be exclusive and I'm going to prioritize you in multiple ways, I have expectations of you, which means that you're not going to go out, get sloppy drunk, be around a bunch of guys that are going to be like, the whole time, and maybe behave badly because people make not so great decisions when they drink. And why are you putting yourself in that situation? I don't want to give my exclusivity to someone who's going to voluntarily put themselves in those situations. And by the way, if you have me and you're so happy with me, why do you need to do all of that? Perfectly reasonable for a man to come to the table and say those things. Guys are afraid to say them, oftentimes because they're afraid of losing a woman. Don't be afraid, men, to lose a woman who behaves badly. It will be an enormous favor to you if you lose someone that disrespects you consistently. don't be afraid of the loss.
Shit still boggles my mind. If a girl wants a guy who's older, it's a preference. If a guy wants a girl who's younger, it's creepy and immature. If a girl doesn't want to date a short guy, it's a preference. If a guy doesn't want to date a girl that's overweight, he's an asshole who's not focused on the things that matter. If a girl wants a guy who can take charge, it's a preference. If a guy wants a girl who will submit to his lead, he's, you guessed it, misogynistic. If a girl sets a boundary, it's empowering. If a guy sets a boundary, it's controlling. Women have preferences, men have something wrong with them. This isn't a double standard, it's just illogical. So why does anyone accept this?
And according to modern women, if a guy gets cheated on, he isn't fulfilling the girl's needs. But if a girl gets cheated on, he's trash and needs to be punished. The list of double standards goes on so much until infinity and beyond that Buzz Lightyear would really get exhausted at some point. Anyway, now that we're talking about double standards, I'd like to share with you an article that dives deeper into this nonsense. The rule of sixes stipulates that a man must have a six-pack, right? Yes, sir, but it looks like hitting the gym or being a so-called gym bro makes you a right-wing asshole. Really, this is mind-boggling. Now, everything is offensive and can be politicized, but let's check it out. I quote, "Gym bros more likely to be right-wing assholes. Science confirms. No time to worry about socioeconomic inequality when you've got to finish your reps, bruh." First off, before we read the comments of this article, what the actual hell? I mean, socioeconomic inequality? What the hell is that? The fake patriarchy and glass ceiling that makes women earn only 77 cents on a dollar that a man makes? Come on, give me a break. If women actually get paid less, do you really think that business owners wouldn't hire more women? What's more profitable than cheap labor and making tons of money at the expense of overworked and underpaid workers? I'm joking, of course, but you get the idea. This is really interesting. These women, and any wokeism lover for that matter, love talking about so-called social justice and how evil being masculine is. Therefore, they love giving moral lessons on how to run a business and what they'd do if they were in office. Like, if I was the president, I'd run all these social programs. But in reality, it's all fake, like Kim Kardashian's body. Bet that if any of these guys had a money bag in front of them, they'd be the first ones wasting that money on things they don't need, like Gucci bags and trips to the Maldives to become the very elite they hate. Like, wow, you're good people. You're the saviors of humanity. You're protecting everyone against greed and capitalism. Now, when Gillette puts out a misandrist advertisement, because that's what it was, they're the first ones celebrating a victory against masculine men. Weren't you the ones against corporate power and the so-called oppressors? Shaking my head. Look, masculine men have standards for themselves. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If women want a strong man by their side, fantastic. But don't call gym bros right-wing assholes for getting in shape and having the looks you stupid hoes wanted in the first place. Any masculine man with a brain also wants a feminine woman, not a goddamn woke, commie social justice warrior that'll call him the devil incarnate just for hitting the gym, eating right, and being of service to the community. Yes, sir, the same masculine men who get all the hatred of society are the ones that society literally utilizes to do the hardest jobs out there. The toxic masculinity they abhor is the same that grants them the privilege of having food on the table and reliable electricity, among other benefits. And yes, when flames are about to end the lives of poor kids, the elderly, and pets, you don't see a single chick risking her life to save the weak and vulnerable. These men are real heroes when serving the community, not the so-called journalists who spread hate towards men just for being men. Giving moral lessons from the comfort of your home is easy, but putting in the work and getting stronger in every conceivable way is not. Men who have endured pain and suffering almost have the moral obligation to have high standards. So if a woman wants a strong man by her side, she better be an asset to you and not another battle. Enough is enough, especially after hours, years, and decades of building your empire in terms of wealth, status, and lifestyle. Now, let's check the article. I quote, "To all you gym bro haters amongst us, come, be seated. This one's for you. Science, objective, empirically tested science, the science that tells us that the ice caps are melting, has confirmed what many of us have long suspected. Gym bros are right-wing jerks." Yeah, these people love quote-unquote science, but neglect the obvious fact that women are not designed to be promiscuous. That men are meant to lead and women are meant to follow. That centuries of healthy relationships where men and women fulfill their gender roles outcompete the so-called innovative approaches like open relationships. Plus, this ain't about right or left wing. Politics are more often than not a scam, especially in the West. The government is all about making men's lives more difficult by the day. Sometimes you might see a state passing a law to protect the rights of men, but it's just that, an exception. No matter the political side of the spectrum you're on, this life is about solving problems and most importantly, being aware of them. Hood people have real problems, but most of these journalists and political correctness lovers enjoy comfortable lives at the expense of daddy's money. Yes, you heard that right. These whimsical and capricious folks might give moral lessons on poverty and inequality, but they're the ones buying the latest iPhone, thus giving more power to the corporations they supposedly hate. New research from Brunel University finds that physically strong men who regularly go to the gym are more likely to be right-wing and support social and economic inequality than weaker men. This explains a lot, like Trump's weird grab and yank power handshake. He's just trying to assert supremacy over his fellow uncaring assholes. Look, weak people always want everyone else to give free handouts. When you win the lottery or make tons of honest money, suddenly you realize how many friends you have. This is a lie, of course. 99.9% of those people are just going after your money, giving off the feeling that they care about you as a person. They'll try to come up with reasons for you to give them just a bit of what's yours, cause it's the right thing to do. Needless to say, show these vultures your middle finger right away, block them, and never look back. Yes, they'll try to bring you down when you're successful. Plain entitlement, just like women who hang out at the finish line and pick the winner. Smart men don't really care about the inequality narrative because if a person has made his money in an ethical and honest way, there's nothing wrong. What's wrong, though, is ripping a man off by divorcing him just for being unhappy. That's the real, or at least one of the real problems out there. Men don't complain about supermodels making more money than men, but women complain a lot when men make more money in sports like soccer and basketball. Strong men, including the so-called gym bros, accept the world as it is, but women and all weak people for that matter want the world to accept them as they are. Strong men overcome their inadequacies like being out of shape, but weak people want society to normalize sickness. Note the huge difference right there. Look, this is really simple. Women love bragging about how strong, independent, and modern they are, but they wouldn't have as much power if it weren't for men, both legally and financially. When a woman has a baby daddy, guess who's paying for the baby? The baby daddy, or if this man is nowhere to be found, the simp who marries this single mom takes care of this mess. And if none of the above apply, you as an average Joe and taxpayer are one of the people who fund this social program. This is what the welfare state is all about, creating problems to sell solutions that the average worker has to pay whether he likes it or not. You didn't vote for this, did you? Let's keep on reading. A research team led by Dr. Michael Price assessed 171 men aged 18 to 40, collecting data on their height, weight, waist size, hand grip, muscularity, and arm and chest strength using a 3D body scanner. Yeah, science, they say. They also analyzed their political and social views, asking them whether they supported the redistribution of wealth, a key tenet of socialism, or believe that some social groups should have dominance over others. Participants were surveyed on how often they went to the gym and their personal wealth. Additionally, the men were categorized according to their facial attractiveness and perceived masculinity and dominance by a group of independent assessors. I've always been interested in the evolution of human morality, Price tells broadly. Over the years, I recognized there's strong correlation in male body size and shape with moral and political attitudes, and I wasn't finding them in females. So I wanted to do a large-scale study looking at men's physical shape in relation to their egalitarianism. Price's findings that rich, muscle dudes are the worst. Under those rock-hard abs lie the rock-hard souls of men who don't believe in spreading their riches around. It's basically your tolerance to the idea that wealth shouldn't be redistributed, Dr. Price explains. Some people thought it was horrible. Some people thought it was fine.
What experience have you seen with women in their 40s saying, Richard, I wish I would have met you 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I wish I would have heard this before. What experience do you have from women in that regard?
Well, Cyndi Lauper covered it. Girls just want to have fun. They just, they've spent their 20s and their sometimes even a good part of their 30s just having fun.
Yep.
And they don't think about these consequences. And why would they? They've been told to go have fun. They've been told to be promiscuous. They've been told to behave like men. They've been told to get degrees and climb corporate ladders. They've been told to put off having a family. They've been told freeze your eggs. They've been told we've got science that can fix all of this. Right? So why wouldn't they just go and have fun, right?
My Ukrainian friend just come to my place and we started living together because I have to help her because the war started, blah, blah, blah. So, and we actually both broken. I'm barely paying my bills and we just made a business. So we basically go on Tinder. We're just looking for guys to go on a date with. We're saying that we need to pay for a babysitter, $100. So she go on a date, the guy paying $100 for a babysitter and we just share this money. We survive. We're buying a grocery. We're just buying the basic shit at home, paying our bills.
So yeah, I don't want to spread my riches around, you good man commie. I don't want to, but I'm literally forced to do so, otherwise the government will try very hard to put me in jail. Al Capone was literally in jail for tax evasion. This is not a joke or a conspiracy, it's the reality. Look, when the system is so rigged against men, it's no wonder why men do all these things, getting rich and stronger for themselves. In some cases, they even want to escape this crazy Western world where the IRS and similar government agencies oppress men via taxes and redistribute wealth among women who make bad decisions. You know how it goes. The mom who let Chad hit her without a condom is not held accountable, and still, she's getting taxpayers' dollars. If you ever wondered why there's no money to solve real problems, but literally trillions of dollars to fund all these social programs, there you have an accurate answer. Corruption in the realm of family law and social security is as clear as day. A man's wealth is confiscated and expropriated via taxes and, in many unfortunate cases, by force of the law itself.
You guys might not like this, but I'm just going to say it. All women are gold diggers. Some are just better at hiding the shovel.
Yep.
Yeah. No. Stop the show. Stop the show. Pay attention to what I just fucking said.
True.
I said all women are gold diggers. Some are just better at hiding the shovel. What do I mean by this? Let's say a girl that's successful, right? She's going to want a guy that's at least on her level, if not better. She might say some bullshit like, oh, I want a man that's ambitious. I want a guy that's responsible, a guy that, has his shit together. Translation, I want a guy that has money. These are all very nice ways to put it out that you want a guy that's financially capable. It's just that some girls aren't as overt about it. So I would argue successful women that make a lot of money are actually bigger gold diggers than regular girls that are unemployed because their standards are up.
We have high standards. I was about to go there.
There you go.
All in all, the gold-digging vibes of modern women, and weak individuals for that matter, are not something men or the manosphere made up. It's a harsh reality. You, as an honest, hard-working, God-fearing man, don't work your ass off to give away your riches to simps, commies, and chicks who even call you toxic for making the same money and having the same success they just can't have. So, all they deserve is your middle finger, let them complain, and enjoy your life as much as possible. They're the toxic ones, not you. Stay strong, guys. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you will get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video, guys. Till next time.